Good evening, YouTubers. This is Frank the Vamp. Welcome to World Cinema Reviews. Um, we're continuing with the British theme, and do I have the great honor of presenting Shaun of the Dead, a wonderful British film. I know a lot of people don't consider Shaun of the Dead to be a horror movie, more of a what's called a horror comedy or dark comedy. However, uh, films such as American Werewolf in London, which by the way I'll be doing next, um, they incorporate a lot of humor, and it's a wonderful thing when you have some humor in a horror movie. If it's done the right way, it could be fantastic because you like the darkness. You get Freddy Krueger magic, man. You get like house magic. You get like army or darkness magic, it's just the wonders of seeing when you're scared, you're laughing, you're experiencing emotions. So Shaun of the Dead is a fantastic zombie film, whether you consider it a horror movie or not. It's directed by Edgar Wright, and Edgar Wright is the creator of the Cornetto ice cream trilogy. Cornetto is because in the other films it's kind of a running gag that in Britain this ice cream called with the brand Cornetto, it's very good to cure a hangover. Even if you drink too much, it cures hangovers. So great. If there's some more hangovers with this, you'll be cured. Anyhow, no, disclaimer: this is not being scientifically proven. Don't listen to me when it comes to ice cream or drinking or hangovers or anything like that. Listen to me when it comes to horror. And this is starring the great Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. And the this movie just has so many great things. But let's start with the plot. It's about Simon Pegg playing Sean, the main character, and him going through what I will call a normal, conflicting, busy, not caring, sometimes overbearing, sometimes underwhelming, sometimes overwhelming existence. He has a dead end job, doesn't care that he's in it though. He got no respect for his co-workers. He doesn't get it. He's got a great relationship with this girl for 3 years, but he may not be able to value it right because every time they go out, they end up going to this same pub called the Winchester. And when they go, they take his best friend, and therefore she's forced to invite her two flatmates, so that they can all go and go to the pub together. So it's kind of like they can never have their romantic alone moments. Um, so she's very unsure of him. Think about it, this guy kind of reminds me of me and my women troubles, but and my non-commitment troubles and my well and and my being stuck in dead end job troubles. But I digress. And he just doesn't seem to want to get out of this loop. He is comfortable. He really enjoys his best friend, even though his best friend is a nutcase, man. He doesn't have any responsibility. He doesn't care about anything or anyone. He gets him into trouble. Sean is in constant trouble because of the Nick Frost character there, and it's he's just not, he's not being what he should, what he could be here. I mean, he wants to be more for her. He wants to get better. He wants to get this better job, be more attentive to her, take her alone to better. restaurants and things like that, but he's not doing it. He's just procrastinating. And to top it all up, he is he's also going through some problems with his mom because there's kind of a tension between his stepfather and him. They don't like each other, and he doesn't like that he's with his mom, and they don't get along, and that creates tension, and all these things are going on in his life. So just like I am, he's just very distracted. I'm a dude like that would, and that's the thing that is so funny but so real about this. So he goes out on a regular day, and he's a guy that is very doing his routine, but he's thinking about all this crap that's going on. His girlfriend, griping about everything, and him promising to make reservations to go to this nice restaurant, and all these things about his job, his responsibility, his flatmate being a jerk to him and to his friend, um, and all kinds of things, and that he's ignoring the world around. So things are happening, start to be a little off. You see things that are a little bit out of the ordinary, people in the street getting attacked, the news, but he just switches the channel. He's not into it. That what's going on is there's a that's so subtle drops until it turns into a zombie film. And in he the way does this, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit of the plot until it turns into a zombie film. That's when I'll stop. So because I don't want to ruin the whole movie for you. But basically, because of all his absent mindedness, he forgets to make the reservation for his girlfriend's anniversary, and they can't get a table at the favorite restaurant that she wanted to go. So he's like, just like instead of looking for a smarter solution, he's like, well, let's just go to the Winchester. Yeah, let's go to the same, crappy pub that we go all the time, all together. And and she is furious and sort of breaks up with him, and she tries to get her back, but he can't. So he gets depressed and gets plastered with his friend. Excellent, funny scenes. When he's getting, and then he starts seeing zombies walking down the street. He thinks it's drunk people, and there's one. I think I won't spoil much because there's one when they're in the front of the bar late at night, and they're singing, a verse of a song, and then the zombie growls, and then they stop, and then they sing that again to see if he'll do it again, and he does it again, and it's really weird, but it's funny. And the next morning they're plastered, so he goes out there and go. So at the next morning he gets up, and he's so hungover, so distracted that in the morning he wants to go get his beer and a cornetto ice cream to the convenience store down the block, and then he realizes, well, he doesn't realize that there's a full-on zombie outbreak out there, and he just ignores it. He's just, I'm the type of dude that might actually do that. Like, I don't, sometimes when I'm on my own world, I don't pay attention to things like that. Little details here and there. Even though I think I'll pay attention if there's a zombie outbreak. But anyhow, it's completely outrageously funny, and that's where I'll leave it. Because then it turns into a survival horror film, mimicking things, paying homage to the great George Romero, the master of horror. This movie, even though it's really funny, it has a lot of violence and gore and stylish, slapstick too. It has it's funny, it's scary, it's sweet, it's sad also, it's memorable. It's actually one of the best zombie films I ever I ever seen. Um, and that's it's saying a lot. Why does this work? Well, I think that human emotions are interchangeable. Just like there's a thin line between love and hate, which I believe there is a thin line before being entertained and being scared and laughing and amusing yourself. Some people amuse themselves by being scared. Yeah, but some people like to laugh about it. Some people see people see reactions of people at a roller coaster. They're going up and down, and a lot of people will laugh. Right before that big jump, they'll be laughing. They won't. They'll be screaming after that. But it's gotta brings up the laughter because you just don't know how to feel, so your emotions just blow up. So what do I think overall? Must see. If you somehow haven't watched this, you've been living under a rock. Shaun of the Dead will do all those things for you. Simon Pegg is a perfect actor for this. Nick for us is the perfect body dude here. Um, Edgar Wright just does a perfect directing job. The effects are awesome. I really like the music. Um, you gotta hear the soundtrack of this. It's really cool. If you like a lot of British, I think they call electro. Um, I don't follow much of that music back in the 1970s or 80s. Um, don't follow, but they do. And if you're British, I'm sure you know when you're watching this. But I want to thank you so much for watching this review. I hope that you go watch this film if you haven't done so. If you like this review, please let me know. If you don't like it, let me know as well. Subscribe if you like my stuff and you want to see more. And like I said earlier on, the next film I'm reviewing will be American Werewolf in London. And then do I have a treat for you after that? I'm doing Santo contra la momia de Guanajuato. That's Santo versus the Guanajuato mummies, which is Spanish uh, cheese horror. I haven't done much Spanish horror, so I'm doing Mama, which is an awesome, dark, serious Spanish horror film. And I'm talking about doing The Orphanage too. And I think I'm doing Santos next. Santos is a very famous Mexican mask wrestler. So it's gonna be cheesy and it's gonna be cool. Have a good one. Good night and sweet dreams.